I was just thinking how horror, more than any other film genre, reflects what's going on in the political sphere at any given time. So in the 70s, you had films like The Omen and The Exorcist and The Wicker Man, which were all hugely popular and very scary, and were also all based around religion. So as we left the 60s and moved into the 70s, we were becoming more of a secular group of societies, and there was this idea of, well, if we're not going to believe in God anymore, then what are we going to believe in? And people found that very frightening. Then in the 80s, you had this rising conservative culture with the elections of Margaret Thatcher in the UK and Ronald Reagan in the US, and suddenly films like A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween became very popular because they tapped into those conservative fears of teen promiscuity, youth culture, and drug use. And there was always a final girl who survived by adhering to traditional values. There were also horror films that tapped into fears of consumerism and capitalism, like They Live and The Stuff. Then in the 90s, after a period of metafiction with the Scream franchise, you suddenly had films that were all about cyber and technology. So things like The Blair Witch Project, bringing quite a traditional campfire story into the modern age with the found footage trope. And then films like Ring, which of course said that the technology itself was going to kill you as technology became much more prevalent in our lives. Then in the 2000s, we were getting much more used to seeing very gory content on TV and in news feeds in a post 9/11 world. So suddenly there was this big surge in gory movies, things like Hostel and the Saw franchise. The 2010s did their fair share of mirroring as well, with films like Jordan Peele's Get Out, which tapped directly into racial relations, and then the entire Purge franchise, which speaks directly to political discourse. I guess whatever we find scary at any given point, we'll make a movie of it.